The Hound of the Baskervilles, a tale of shadows and secrets on the bleak, windswept moors of Devonshire. Under a moon shrouded in mist, a howl rose into the night, an unearthly, bone-chilling wail that froze the hearts of those who heard it. It was said to be the call of the Baskerville Hound, a spectral beast cursed to haunt one of England's oldest and most tragic families. But was it truly a supernatural force? Or was it something darker, something rooted in human greed and deception? When Sir Charles Baskerville was found dead, his face twisted in unspeakable terror, there was only one man to untangle the web of truth and myth: Sherlock Holmes. The case began on a grey morning in London, as Dr. James Mortimer arrived at 221B Baker Street. Clutching a manuscript so ancient it seemed to carry the weight of centuries. Holmes sat in his usual chair, the sharp glint in his eyes betraying his intense curiosity. Dr. Watson, ever the steadfast companion, listened as Mortimer recounted the grim legend of the Baskerville family. Hugo Baskerville was a man of unspeakable cruelty, Mortimer explained, his voice trembling. He kidnapped a young woman and chased her across the moors when she escaped. By morning, Hugo was found dead, his throat torn out, and the girl lay lifeless nearby. Witnesses swore they saw a monstrous black hound at the scene, eyes glowing like fire. Since that day, the Baskervilles have been cursed. Holmes leaned forward, his steepled fingers betraying no emotion. Curses, he said, are often convenient tools for those who seek to mask their own misdeeds. Tell me, Dr. Mortimer, what brought you here? Mortimer revealed the chilling circumstances of Sir Charles Baskerville's death. The old baronet had been found near the gate to Baskerville Hall, his face contorted in horror. Around him, in the soft earth, were the unmistakable footprints of a gigantic dog. Holmes's keen mind began to turn. Dr. Watson, Holmes said, you will accompany Sir Henry Baskerville to Devonshire. Observe everything, write to me daily, and above all ensure his safety. The moors of mystery, the journey to Baskerville Hall was foreboding. The moors stretched endlessly, shrouded in fog so thick it seemed to consume sound itself. Sir Henry Baskerville, young and resolute, was determined to reclaim his family home despite anonymous warnings to leave. Watson's letters to Holmes painted a grim picture. Baskerville Hall was a fortress of shadows, its hallways echoing with the weight of history. The moors beyond were desolate and menacing, dotted with treacherous bogs and whispering winds that carried tales of the Hound. Watson soon realized that nearly everyone around the estate had something to hide. The butler, Barrymore, was seen signaling with a lantern from a window late at night. Watson followed him one evening and discovered he was aiding his brother-in-law, Selden, an escaped convict hiding on the moors. Meanwhile, the locals spoke of strange sightings of black hound, massive and spectral, roaming the moors. Watson felt the weight of the legend pressing down on him, even as he tried to maintain his rationality. The mastermind in the shadows, Holmes, as it turned out, had never been far. Unbeknownst to Watson, he had been conducting a covert investigation, living in the wilds of the moor and observing events unfold. Legends are powerful tools, Holmes told Watson upon revealing his presence. They prey on fear, and fear clouds reason. But I have reason to believe the Hound is no myth, it is flesh and blood, wielded by a cunning mind. Holmes had uncovered a key suspect, Jack Stapleton, a naturalist and neighbor of the Baskervilles. Though outwardly genial, Stapleton's erratic behavior and obsessive knowledge of the moor painted a darker picture. Holmes suspected Stapleton was a distant relative of the Baskerville line, seeking to eliminate Sir Henry and claim the estate. The hunt in the fog. The climax came on a moonless night. Holmes and Watson set their trap, positioning themselves near the Grimpen Mire. Sir Henry, unaware of the danger, walked the path near the moor's edge. Out of the darkness came the howler sound so piercing, so inhuman. It made even Holmes's heart skip a beat. From the fog emerged the Hound, larger than any dog they had ever seen, its eyes glowing with an unholy fire. It leapt toward Sir Henry, its massive jaws snapping. Holmes and Watson acted in unison. A shot rang out, then another. The Hound yelped and collapsed, revealing the truth. Its fur had been coated with phosphorus to give it an eerie glow, and its immense size had been exaggerated by clever breeding and manipulation. Stapleton, the mastermind, fled into the Grimpen Mire, but the moor was unforgiving, and his body was never found. The triumph of reason. Back in London, as Holmes and Watson recounted the case, Holmes delivered his final analysis. Superstition is a veil, Watson, used by those who wish to obscure their actions. The Baskerville curse was nothing more than a weapon of fear wielded by a man consumed by greed. In the end, reason triumphed. The Hound of the Baskervilles was not just a case. It was a battle between light and shadow, between the tangible and the ethereal. It cemented Holmes's place as the greatest mind of his time, a man who stared into the abyss and uncovered the truth.